Welcome to all my replay folks. Make sure you swipe and share. Welcome to Chat Mill. Today's Saturday. It's a day that I usually don't do. It's a day that I don't usually do Chat Mill, but I didn't do one yesterday, so I thought, you know what? Hey, hi. I didn't do one yesterday, so I figured I would do one today. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hi. Hi. Thanks. I like your face too, but I can't see it. Hi there. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Don't forget to share. Please. Swipe up. Swipe left. Left to right. Oh, yeah. Left to right. Thank you. Thank you. Throw some hearts up. So my rule here on my Periscope is you either are tapping or typing. And it looks as though the hearts did not change. I actually have some hashtags in there and it didn't add them. So maybe I did it wrong. I must have. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Hi. So, how do you get the hearts? How do you get the hearts? The hearts, actually, you just tap. I didn't understand what you were saying. How's the weather there? I'll tell you in a second. But tap the screen on the bottom right of your screen over here. Hi, Justine. Hey. Tap on the screen. Tap or type. So here's the deal, guys. Hey, Curtis. I wanted to talk with you guys today about, you saw the title, it says Believe in Yourself. There's a lot to be desired in how people compare themselves to other people. How we set ourselves up for failure by comparing, by allowing our minds to not really see who we are or what the potential we have is. I know that doesn't make sense. Yes, it does. Maybe it does. What happens, and I guess I want to just kind of share with you what happened and why this was brought up. Hey there, Linz. When you compare who you are to somebody else, it is only based on jealousy for the most part, or envy. And I don't mean jealousy in a really bad way. I mean that you're envious that you are not doing or you're not being what that other person is, or how that other person is, what they have, how they're acting, that kind of thing, right? So what happens then is you start to beat yourself down, tapping or typing. I'm gonna get you guys. You guys don't talk a lot when we're on Chat Mill. Beautiful here in Philadelphia. Walking home from meeting a few friends to smell new scents. Awesome. Actually, it's a beautiful sunny day today too. We had a snowstorm yesterday, but it's beautiful today. So, I guess I just want to share a message that we all have amazing minds. We have the ability and possibility to do. Too busy focusing on what you were saying today. I know. That's okay. You know, we just, I'm a little all over the place because I'm trying to get the topic on track. So that you guys can understand where I'm coming from. You all have the ability, hey Michelle, you all have the ability to be amazing people, okay? And a lot of times we don't believe that in ourselves. So what happens is we start looking at other people and we start thinking things like, oh, I wish I could do that, or oh, I wish I was that bubbly, or oh, I miss seeing you too, I don't get to see you. Or, you know, I wish I could be as successful as that person, or I wish I was as pretty as that person, or as thin as that person, or as bubbly as that person. Or, I know we all are guilty though, so don't beat yourself up about it. But really all that is kind of our way of saying, okay, there are things about me, specifically, okay, that I wish I could improve or recognize in myself. And so we go out and we recognize it in other people because we're seeing that, right? And it's hard to see ourselves, is it not? So I want you to remember that regardless if somebody else is doing something that you wish you were doing, own who you are. Because each individual person is completely different. We were born differently, we were brought up differently, we were named differently, we look different. Even identical twins are different, right? So own who you are and understand that you have abilities that maybe that person doesn't have. Or, you know, and it kind of goes back, guys, and I know that I'm repetitive, but I think sometimes we just need to have something beaten into our head to really understand where it's coming from and why it's coming from there. And that the story that we tell ourselves about who we are, the story that we share in our own mind about who we are and the perspective that we have about who we are, is actually the story that we play out in real life. Because we don't know any other story unless we tell a different one, right? So, you know, it hurts me to see people become so envious of other people's lives. And I think to myself, you know what? Just change your story then. If you're not happy with who you are, if you're not happy with how you're doing things, or how you look, or how you perceive other people, then change the story that you're saying about yourself in your head. Because ultimately, if you don't feel good about how you look, it's because of the story that you're telling yourself about how you look. Tell yourself that you're beautiful. You can always change things in your life. You can, you know, but it starts with thought. It starts with the thought process. And some of the things that I've taught in our Train Your Brain series from last month was obviously the story that you tell yourself about yourself is the story that you play out. Our unconscious mind is our best friend. It believes everything that we say. And I say that often because it's a reminder to say, hey, look, if you're saying something, then you can make a change in your reality. That is absolutely right, because it's also part of perception, right? Your perception about something is not going to be somebody else's perception. They may be similar because you guys are sharing the perception of a thought, right? But, I mean, ultimately, it is as simple as that. I mean, it's as simple as when somebody says, well, if you say you're not going to do it well, then ultimately you are not going to do it well. Unless at some point in that process, you say, okay, well, maybe it is possible that I can do it well. And then all of a sudden your energy starts to shift and your mind starts to shift. And it's just as simple as that. It's just, I get frustrated because I wish I could share it with the world, that it is as simple as changing your thought process and starting with you. You know, I had a conversation the other day, and, you know, part of what she was saying is, you know what, I'm really shy, I really don't connect well with people, I don't know if I would do well at this. And I thought, you know what, you're the one, and it was about the opportunity. She wanted to join. And I said, you're the one that's actually holding yourself back. I said, that's the funny thing. It's not that you're shy. It's not that you're not going to do well. It's just the thought that you think you won't that's holding you back. And I said, if you were to look, she has some children too, and I said, if you were going to look at your 11-year-old son, 15-year-old son, however old he is, and say, And he came home from school and he said, Mom, you know, I really want to try this, but I just don't think I'm going to do well at it, and I'm not sure that I want to do it, and I'm kind of shy, and I don't have a lot of friends. As a parent, we would instantly say, hey, honey, you can totally do this. You know, you have the ability to do it. You are and you'd find all of the great things about your child, and you would start rattling them off to them, right? Why do we treat ourselves any less than that? You know, why do we beat ourselves up and say, well, you're too shy, you're not going to do well, you can't do this, you don't have enough friends, you don't know how to talk to people. Why would we say those things to ourselves when we wouldn't even say them to our own child? Money is the only thing keeping you back? Is that what you're saying, that that's what people think the issue is? I guess I'm not understanding. Holding you back from what? You have, oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so, but that's what you're telling yourself. So see, do you hear what you're saying? You're telling yourself that it's money that's holding you back. And that's the story that you're believing. So your unconscious mind is saying, you're right. It's money that's holding you back. You know, see how simple that is? And it's just to catch ourselves, really. It's only to catch ourselves and say, wait a minute, is that the story I want to be telling myself? You know, change that story and say, you know what? Money is coming. It's coming. And it's not an issue. It's one of my other favorite things too, Curtis, that I've been saying lately, is the problem isn't the problem. Faith is good too. The problem is not the problem. The problem is that we're focusing on the problem. So in your case, money's not the problem. The problem is that you're focusing on the lack of money. Does that make sense? And when you stop focusing on the problem, when you stop focusing on the problem, then it can't be the problem anymore, because the only reason it's a problem is because you're focusing on it. I thought the same about doing videos and watched your video about doing Google Hangout. I missed that one. Sorry. When you guys type really long stuff, it's hard for me to catch the whole thing. Do it in segments. So yeah, it's just a powerful thing to know. It's a powerful knowledge. It helped. I feel comfortable now. Good. Lisa. Good. Awesome. I guess I'm confusing people on here, and I'm sorry. It's hard to see the names when I'm standing back here. I'd have to be like right here. I can't do that. Hi, Rosemary. So hopefully that makes sense, you guys. I mean, if you're just coming in, by the way, you might have missed the message that I was sharing today. And I think that goes into why people compare themselves, right? So if your focus is on lack, whether it's lack of attention, lack of money, lack of job, lack of whatever, if your attention is on lack, that's okay. If your attention is on lack, you will continue to get lack. And so what happens is we tend to focus on people who don't have lack, right? Because that's where the envy comes from. That's where the green comes from. So instead of focusing on the fact that someone has something that you don't have, then say, hey, that person's got something that I'm working on getting. How awesome is that? And change the outlook and change the voice and change the attitude and change the perspective and change the story. You know, it's funny, and of course the numbers are going down. I get so passionate about this because I feel like it's such a game changer. It was such a game changer for me, and I think that it's just, if more people understood how to access that information and make it work in your own head, that there'd be so many more happier people in this world, you know? And the truth be known that this technique or this knowledge or this ability to change your story goes both ways. If you want it to be happier, then the story should be happier. But if you want to conquer, and you know, I look at different things like ISIS and all of them, their mindsets are probably pretty strong in what it is that they're thinking and what they need to do and what they need to carry out. You know, that's kind of how brainwashing happens. And I'm not saying that by any means, I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I'm just saying that's how powerful it is. But for the good, can you imagine the changes that would happen? Yeah, I know. So true. It is. Thank you for the hearts. So, anyway, don't know what else to talk about. How was your day? How's it going? It's Saturday. It's a weekend. There's not a lot of people on. There's only 9 people here. Everybody must be out doing things. Exciting, exciting. You needed this? Good. You know, Shaylin, I think sometimes we just forget, because I think we all know. I mean, we were born with this information. In bed with influenza. Good Lord. I hope you feel better. It was a good message. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think we just forget, you know, and we were all born with this knowledge, and that's the weird thing, right? Because we were all born with this knowledge, and other human beings took it away, you know? Aw, you're awesome. Thank you. I do hope you feel better, though. Quickly. Influenza B. I can't be good. I can't be good at all. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, you guys, I hope you have an amazing day. I'm going to try and crank it up and lessen my time on here today. Had it since Wednesday and even had a flu shot. Oh, yuck. Be good to each other, but be better to yourself. Okay? That's my message. Be good to others, but be better to yourself. Happy Easter, for sure. Happy Easter to everyone. Love you too. Bye.